What girl doesn't love themselves a nice cute butt? I know someone who's extremely obsessed. Tina Blecher. Oh girl, your chin. Welcome back to Thalias Cakes, and on this week's video, I'll be showing you how to make Tina Blecher from Bob's Burgers. To make Tina's head, I used Rice Krispies. When molding with Rice Krispies, you always want to use shortening so that way you don't have a sticky mess. First, I started off by shaping the front part of Tina's face. Don't start saying, "Oh my god, bro, she doesn't even have gloves on." Tina's just for show. No one's going to eat her. I wouldn't even want to eat her. Besides, she's a really cool person. Why would you want to eat her? Now I'm forming the back of Tina's head. So let's just say I didn't have the appropriate tools, so I really risked it. Baby, how do you say it? I really, risked it. You know what I'm trying to say. But I did make it work. But I do recommend you using a thicker dowel so it won't give you so much trouble like it happened to me. Or better yet, you can also use a PVC pipe and some screws and a heavy baseboard, and that will keep it very sturdy. Here I'm measuring how thick my base is. I needed to know how much to cut from my dowel that will be going in between the head. To glue this together, I melted down some of my marshmallow fondant and spreading it all over my dowel. Now I can stick this dowel to the back of Tina's face then grab the back of Tina's head and sandwich that together. And I use my fondant smoother to blend the two parts together. And here I'm just adding more to the back of her neck. I needed this to get super hard, so I wrapped it up in saran wrap tightly and then I put it in the refrigerator overnight. Rice Krispies can be very bumpy, so I'm putting 3 coats of buttercream. After each coat, I stick it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes each time. After the 3rd coat, I'm using 2 fingers to smooth out any bumps or else it will show through the fondant. Very quick, I just wanted to share my New Year's resolution for 2018. Now, it's kind of a big number, but I'm trying to reach 800 subscribers by the end of this year. If you guys can help me reach that, that would be amazing. Tell people about me, share me on Facebook, do whatever you want to do. Now let's get back to the video. With fondant, I'm shaping the top part of her mouth before draping the fondant over her face. Once the fondant is on, I'm going to make an indent with my thumb on her face to place on the nose with gum paste glue. I'm using my pizza cutter here to remove the excess fondant, then with my fondant smoother, I'm going to stretch her skin back. With my X-Acto knife, I'm removing any extra fondant from the back of the head. For the chin, I'm rolling out a piece of fondant and placing it under the mouth area, then smoothing in the creases on the sides, then forming her chin with my thumbs. For Tina's mouth, I'm just using a string of fondant. To glue on her mouth, I used water. Time to make what makes Tina Blecher, Tina Blecher. To start making her glasses, I'm mixing in Thalias powder into my fondant. This makes the fondant hard. I made myself a glasses template and I'm just cutting around it with my fondant cutter. Here I'm using a Wilton 12 tip to cut out her pupil. And for the frame of the glasses, I rolled out a string of fondant and sliced that in half and glued it around the eye area. I let the glasses dry for 4 hours before gluing it onto Tina's face. Tina is looking like a toe right now. So let's get this girl some hair. Speaking of hair, go check out my girl at Define Divine Beauty on Instagram. She's an amazing hairstylist. Check out her bundles and order yours today. For her hair, I use modeling chocolate. I put the chocolate between two 5-inch sphere cake pans with saran wrap and push down on it in circular motion. And here I began to shape out her bangs with my fingers. I'm measuring out the width and the height of her hair that's gonna go wrapped around her head. Now I'm wrapping it around her head, then blending it in with the palm of my hand going upward. Carving around the whole bottom of her hair, I'm using my X-Acto knife. I wasn't very happy with her bangs. She started to look like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. So I added more bangs on. I applied more chocolate on top of her bangs, then carved them out. I felt like she still didn't look like Tina unless I added 2 more extra layers of hair, cause your girl got some thick hair. On the side of her face, I'm gluing on the temple of her glasses. Hello? Now I can glue on her banana clip that I made out of fondant. Putting on her banana clip made it all come together. It's booty time. I already baked myself 2 5-inch butt cheeks with a serrated knife and I'm going to cut them in half. With an offset spatula, I'm putting a thin layer of buttercream because I wanted to fill this cake with crushed up chocolate chip cookies. It's important to make a border with buttercream so that the filling doesn't come out while crumb coating. Now I'm just adding some more buttercream on top to stick my other cake layer on top. This foot is going under the knife. I'm cutting off about 1/2 inch of the inner part of this cheek, and with the same piece I will use it for the other cheek to mark where I will cut it. I'm putting buttercream in between the cheeks, then pushing them together. I'm covering the butt in buttercream, then putting it to chill for 30 minutes. I did this process twice. The butt has to be very smooth, so I use a piece of aluminum flashing and smooth it out. I used some fondant to give this butt a waist. I just kept building it until I was happy, and then I covered it with fondant and smoothed it out with my fondant smoother. Now I can start creating the jeans for this butt. Instead of covering the butt in blue fondant, I'm going to paint it to make it look like actual jeans. To make the butt pocket, I made myself a template and cut around it and glued it on my butt. Well, not my butt, his butt. I'm cutting out the seams for the jeans and gluing them on. I'm using a fondant stitch tool to make the stitches on the butt pocket and everywhere else where the jean has stitches. I also made myself 3 belt loops and stitched them and then glued them on. I forgot to record this part. Before gluing on the belt loops, I rolled out a thin piece of fondant here at the top of the waist. Finally, I can start painting. I mixed vodka, blue food gel, and a little bit of black food gel. To make it look like actual jeans, I dipped my paintbrush in lemon extract and started to paint it on. This will take some of the color off and create that jean look. If you'd like, you could use vodka, but I just didn't use it because I felt like it would make the fondant taste bitter. I let this dry for about 4 hours before adding any gold paint onto the stitches. I wanted to add 2 more little details, so I added in a brown jean patch and a red tab on the side of the pocket. And there you have it, Tina and her obsession with butts.
Just when I think I'm out, those cheeks pull me right back in.
I like to love you every day. I like to love you.
We got along so well. I'm really gonna miss having Tina around.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to have me a slice of some booty.
I like to love you. I like to love you night and day, if I may.
Now that's some good booty. If you enjoyed watching this video, also made a Starbucks cupcake, not a cupcake, but a Starbucks cup as a cake. Pretty good, and you can click that right up here. Make sure to share my video on Facebook and to your friends. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe.